What is up, guys? It's me. So the year 2022 is finally ended, and I got to catch up with some of the year's most buzzed and beloved films. Before we start, let's bring up some honorable mentions, shall we? Woman Talking, Glass Onion and Knives Out Mystery, Nope, RRR, Top Gun Maverick, Tar, and Aftersun. Okay, those were amazing movies, but these movies are on another level for me. Let's jump into my top 10 list of the year. Number 10 is the latest movie I've watched before making the list, White Noise. Noah Baumbach's latest film is experimental, chaotic, wild, and funny all at once. Adam Driver is amazing and fearless as always, but Greta Gerwig stole all the scenes for me. She has this one scene, and I have no idea why she isn't getting any awards recognition for that scene alone. Don Cheadle is also great in it, but could have had a little more screen time. I also really love the production design of the film and the cinematography. It features what is probably the best end credit sequence of the year as well. Number 9 is a horror movie, but not the last one, X. X is also an experimental movie that is, in terms of story, very similar to Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which is one of my favorite horror slasher flicks. The ensemble is absolutely gold. Mia Goth, Jenna Ortega to Martin Henderson, not a single weak link from the performances. The last 30 minutes of the film, pure violence, and I loved it. The makeup is also extraordinary, and it didn't even make the Oscar shortlist, which is pretty disappointing. But that says a lot about the Academy, not about the film. Number 8 is Triangle of Sadness. Yet another satire on this list. Triangle of Sadness is probably the funniest film of the year, and also has one of my favorite ensembles of the year. It's sad that the ensembles of X and Triangle of Sadness aren't getting that much love from critics, and probably SAG as well, because they really deserve it. Dolly De Leon is obviously the clear standout in her I'm the Captain scene. I'm sorry, Barkov Abdi, but this is the one. Number 7 is Barbarian. I know I keep repeating the word experimental, but if you see Barbarian, you would know what I'm saying. Or if you see any of these films, you know what I'm saying. The most unexpected movie, and most definitely the most surprising movie of the year. I don't really want to spoil anything about the movie, but I'll just say that it is one of the most bonkers things, and it's just so crazy. It's one of the most bonkers things I've seen in recent memory, and just let the film take hold of you, and it'll leave you with an unforgettable experience. Number 6 is The Banshees of Inisherin. I loved In Bruges, but wasn't a big fan of Martin McDonagh's other work like Three Billboards or Seven Psychopaths. I love this movie, and dark comedy or humor is usually not my thing, so it's kind of weird to say that, but man, the way dialogue is written or spoken or delivered in this movie, it was heaven to my ears. Colin Farrell is sweeping all the Critics Awards as he should. He is amazing. The subtlety, the vulnerability he gives, it's all outstanding to witness. Carrie Condon and Barry Keoghan, their scene that got viral on Twitter, and that scene is perfect. And let me just say, you are not going to be ready for it. It's absolutely going to break your heart. Great movie. Number 5 is The Fabelmans. Deeply personal to Steven Spielberg, who is one of the most inspiring filmmakers. This film did things to me. I just want to start by saying that the scene where Sammy discovers something through film and the quote-unquote magic of film, it just wrecked me. I don't get people who are calling this a sugar-coated version or feel-good movie, because it really isn't. It is the opposite of that, in fact. It does not once shy away from the brutal truth and layers of Spielberg's childhood, and the way he discovers those pieces, it is magic. A look that Paul Dano gives during this film is enough for him to get nominated for an Oscar because he is so good in this movie, and it's probably my favorite performance of this, but There Will Be Blood is pretty close, but still, this performance was amazing, and David Lynch's cameo is also probably one of my favorite cameos of all time. Number 4 is the most controversial movie on this list, and I get it. It's Babylon. It is unapologetic, wild, and I just had a blast watching it. The first two halves of this movie are crazy and so entertaining. The performances are off the charts, like Margot Robbie doing the thing she does in this movie. It is crazy and absolutely wild. The direction and editing and music and cinematography, they all work in synergy and captivated me so much that the runtime was just flying by. I feel like Tom Cruise needs to get nominated for an Oscar for the editing because the pacing was pitch perfect. Diego Calva, A Star is Born, that's all I could say, baby. The ending? Fuck the people who hate the ending. Okay, that was too much. But seriously, I can't give a shit about this movie flopping because people will look back at this movie in 10 years and call it a misunderstood masterpiece. Now, before getting into the top 3, I just want to say that all these films are interchangeable and I would give them 10 over 10s. I feel like they're all perfect films. Number 3 is Avatar The Way of Water. Now, James Cameron, this guy just doesn't know how to direct a bad sequel or a bad movie in general. I'm one of those people who really enjoyed the first movie but didn't really get to love it I love and adore this movie. One of the things lacking in the first movie was an emotional arc and foundation. This movie has that with the family. And that might seem lazy, but it really isn't. Each of them are memorable and well written, and they are just so fun to watch. The whale scenes, I was in awe, and I want to highlight Sam Worthington's performance, especially because I believe he did not give a good performance in the first movie, but in this one he completely blew me away. His line reading of "I see you," it brought me to tears, and it was mainly because of the way he said it, and it was amazing. Number two is Decision to Leave. Decision to Leave should be a lot to get nominated, or maybe even win the Best Director award. Every shot in this movie is so unique, weird, poetic, and beautiful to witness, and I mean those terms in the best way possible. Some of the cuts, transitions, and dissolves are so good, I couldn't believe what I was looking at. The two lead performances, especially Park Hae-hyo, who is very underrated in this movie. No one's giving him the love he deserves, and he absolutely deserves it because he was fantastic. He destroyed me in the last scene. Speaking of the last scene, this movie also has the best ending of the year. Once you get into the first opening 30 minutes, you are just sucked into these characters' lives and journeys, and you just can't get enough of this twisted relationship and the filmmaking prowess in general. Number one is, of course, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. A film that captures our current world and generation so well. A film where art gets to be balanced with blockbuster filmmaking and indie filmmaking and make something so special and unique while also giving us entertainment. This is a once in a lifetime movie. Everything's been said about what I love about this film, so I'll try to word it in a different way. The generational trauma, that stuff, it resonated with me a lot. And the performances, where do I start? The entire ensemble is great, but the main three, Stephanie Hsu, Ki Hoi Kwan, and of course, the Michelle Yeoh. I hope this wins the Best Picture Oscar. It'd be one of the best winners of all time. So, guys, I think that's it for my top 10 list of the year of 2022. It's been a great year for film and cinema. I hope 2023 is also great. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out.